It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It means that I'm back for a live reaction for AEW Dynamite for the first time in 3 weeks. Blood and Guts was the last time we were up here together to watch Dynamite together, and because of my work schedule and my vacation schedule all running in together, we had to miss a few Wednesdays in a row there, but we are back for Fyter Fest Week 2, third night overall of this, and the card is pretty stacked for tonight. Let's run through it real quick while we got 1 minute as Big Bang Theory wraps up. Oh shit! And I just lost it. But I had all the matches right here. Here we go. We've got Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho in the Barbed Wire Everywhere match. Jericho Appreciation Society is going to be up in the cage. Best Friends versus Moxley and Yuta. Varsity Blondes taking on Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. FTR versus Swerve and Glory. Ricky Starks and Cole Carter. We've got Athena and Willow Nightingale taking on Jade Cargill and Kiera Hogan. And Brody King against Darby Allin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches for this 2-hour show. Should be fun. Fyter Fest Night 2. Welcome, everyone. Glad you're here. Hopefully, I'm just not talking into the wind and you can actually hear me here. We're good. Right on. We are here with a minute to spare as Big Bang Theory is wrapping up. Let me give my stream a refresh just to make sure I'm not too far behind as Dynamite begins. And, yeah, I've missed the last couple of Dynamites. I didn't even see Wardlow win the TNT title until a couple of days ago, and had to get caught up in the last 2 weeks of Dynamite because of what's been going on in my life. So I'm really happy to be back here tonight. And here we go with Dynamite. Let me cruise to the chat. Say hi to you guys. Lil Justin. I always get that wrong. Destiny, Andy, my name is not Earl, Rodrigo, William, Michael, How Wheezy, Angie, Chaz, Alex, Clyde. What's up, y'all? Here we go. Fyter Fest, I didn't catch where they are tonight. Oh, Atlanta. Okay. Weren't they in Atlanta last week too? Maybe not. I'm all out of the loop, guys. You might have to fill me in on some shit that I see here tonight if I'm not aware of what's been going on. We're not wasting any time. Good to see you, Ruben. Yeah, Angie, looks like Kenny Omega is on the verge of coming back. I believe Sean Ross Sapp broke that story yesterday or the day before. I'm ready. I was about to say, unless this is him already. Nope, this looks like it's going to be Brody King and Darby Allin. Holy shit. I did like what they did. Was it last week on Dynamite with Sting and Malachi Black? That was pretty good. A little stare down there. Or maybe that was on Rampage. I forgot. Adjust my microphone. All right. Oh, yeah, Clyde, I understand. Totally, my friend. Totally. There's lots of people that I can't catch all the time, but I never stop watching them. I appreciate your support, as always. TJ, what up? Ruben, I'm not sure if I got you. Nephew Ruben. I had a great Reuben when I was in Hawaii, incidentally. In case you're wondering, at a brewery in Kauai. It's delicious. Here comes the Darbster. I didn't really catch exactly why or what the initial issue was, but I did see the clip of Brody King attacking Darby Allin at the contract signing, or not contract signing, autograph signing. All right. By the way, cheers to you. I already cracked open my Broken Skull American Lager because I was a little thirsty before we went on the air. So I've already had a couple sips, but cheers to you. I've got this totally normal, nothing odd about it at all. Little gummy treat I'm going to eat. Just totally normal. You can pick it up at any 7-Eleven. I only eat half of it, though, because they're strong. Yeah, and they're gnarly, too. Ugh. Here we go. I mean, Darby's the size of one of Brody's legs. He's like he's fighting one of his legs. K-Dogs, Canna, what's going on, man? Bub is doing great, sleeping right over there right now. He handled everything like a champ while I was in Hawaii, and he's been doing good. I think he'll, by this rate, I mean, I really think he'll be here until Christmas. I do. I'm blown away that that's even possible, but, you know, he's he would have to decline real quick for him to, have any sort of trouble. And he seems to be plugging along. So I think I might squeeze a year out of him, when it's all said and done, squeeze an extra year out of him that I didn't think I would get. So I'm very happy. Check out that shark case. Now, every one of those motherfuckers has to be in that shark cage. Like, it's bad enough being up there. I'd be pooing myself as it was. And then to be up there with all your friends surrounding you, that would just be like a stress test out of control. I'd be losing my mind. Oof. Those sentons on Darby have got to be painful. Oh, okay. So that's not a match. It's championship swerve or celebration for Swerve and Lee. So that's not a match. What is FTR doing? Oh, okay, so we just hear from FTR. I saw them next to each other in the graphic. Sorry about that. So Swerve and Lee have their celebration, and we hear from FTR. So that's not a match. I had that wrong. Sorry, my only knowledge of tonight's show was the graphic that AEW posted earlier in the day. Oof. Yeah, everybody's still saying that's Kip Sabian under the bag, paper bag. It could just be some guy that's not very attractive. Throw a paper bag over him, fixes everything. Wow, what a little merry-go-round he gave to Darby. That's what Brody King should be doing. Janine, the big tattooed guy, is Brody King. Or Brody Lee, as JR likes to call him. But he's a big badass Brody King who had a lot of history with Malachi Black prior to his WWE days. So they're reunited here in AEW. I love that Shark Week is being co-promoted into this thing. Oh. I have just an issue with heights in general, but I'm always really uneasy anytime any sort of human being is suspended from the air at a wrestling show. And if you have a whole cage of these people, I know it's, we don't want to jinx anything, but we have talked on the podcast before, like, what would happen, if somebody's in the cage and the fucking cable broke and the whole cage just falls. You would either be severely injured or killed. And that's just, like, not a risk I'd be willing to take. But, I mean, I know all sorts of, multiple ton, things hang from ceilings of arenas, but you just never know. I think it's just a heights thing for me. Because there's just nothing you can do. If you're in there and that thing starts falling, you're just at the mercy of of that. You can't get out of the way. You can't jump out. You can't really brace yourself. You're just going to probably shove your spine out through the top of your head. I was thinking about that in an elevator, too. Like, what if the elevator just broke and it just went all the way down to the bottom? That would hurt, yo. Come on, Darby. He has not had a ton of offense here. I thought Darby would find a way to win this. I still feel like there's got to be some Sting and Malachi's or something coming out here. Otherwise, it might just be a squash for Brody King. What a weekend. All-out weekend is going to be. I'm pretty sure that's the same weekend that Cobra Kai Season 5 comes out as well. That's going to be a busy one for old Mike Work. Pitcher and pitcher. Is that The Rock? Is The Rock on Shark Week? I love The Rock being advertised side by side with Dynamite. That's the best. The Rock is all elite. Somebody make the graphic. It's confirmed. Master of ceremonies. When it comes to ceremonies, it's a master right there. Rodrigo, can we do a Cobra Kai watch along one day? Possibly. It's hard to react to shows. I've seen YouTubers that have done that, like react to in real time. There's some like, live reactions, their first time watching of movies, but they're usually edited and condensed. But just watching it live, it's all dialogue, So, I mean, what are we going to talk about? I'm just going to be sitting here watching it. We're all nobody's going to be saying anything. I mean, I might say a few things, but like wrestling, I can talk through the whole thing. But if we're watching a show, do y'all want to hear my ass rambling the whole time when you're trying to listen to what they're saying on the show? So I've thought about TV shows. I just don't think it'll work. It wouldn't be good content. Wouldn't be something I would want to watch. But maybe y'all would. I don't know. If I did anything like that, I would probably pre-record it, edit it, and condense it down. But I don't have time for that type of editing work. But I thought about it. What's going on, Jesse and Ben and Sunny Man and Kyle and anybody else new rolling up in the chat? Hit that thumbs up button for me too, if you don't mind. Get us a few of those. Maybe the paper bag guy is a Lions fan. Fuck you, Michael Cuomo. That's okay. You can say anything you want. You're one of our top benefactors. You have immunity. Michael Cuomo cannot be blocked. He's bulletproof.
She's all yours. Want some tacos?
I'm not really in the mood.
Yeah, you're right. It's so messy. All the napkins, different toppings.
Actually, I'm in.
Yeah, you are.
Discomfort back there.
Darby's got to win this. I'd be perfectly fine with a Brody King win here, actually, to be honest. I think this would be a really weird match to consider Brody King an underdog in. But Darby has probably had a few more moments, and he's a little more decorated, of course, in AEW than Brody is. But unless we get some extracurricular activity here, this is an obscene mismatch. I mean, if Miro had his way with Allin, I don't know why we would think Brody King wouldn't have the same. And I also don't think Brody King beating Darby Allin here would, like, quote, hurt Darby Allin at all. I think a loss for Brody King would hurt Brody more than a loss to Darby would hurt Darby. You know what I mean? So I think if Darby wins this, there's got to be some extracurriculars. I wouldn't have Darby go over clean here, but you never know. He's got his belt. Or he's got something. He's going to use that belt buckle. Oh, he's going to whip him with the metal part? Watch your face, Brody. Oh, okay. There you go. See, there you go. That's a page out of Bret Hart against Diesel at Survivor Series 95. Remember, he tied his legs up? That's what you got to do. Now Darby's going to go for the torpedo. Here he goes. Pew. Jesus. So good. Can you imagine Darby like Jeff Hardy, 24 years from now? Still trying to do this? Yeah, Darby does have some welts and bruises on him already. Pretty rough. Oh, look at that. Oof. The trio woe, baby. Oh. I always loved hearing Dusty call the trio woe when he was on commentary. Ugh. I have nothing against tattoos at all. I think tattoos look pretty cool. But, like, when you're 80, are you going to want every inch of your skin covered in that stuff? Ooh. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, my goodness. Was sharpshooter on the arms? I would not. No, come on, Brody. You got to power out of this. You cannot tap to that. Billy Kidman, are you worried? You better not see Vince. You better not let Vince see you coming in this chat asking me all these questions about AEW while you thinking about jumping ship. Going to be producer over there. I'm going to text Vince and tell him. You get in all kinds of trouble. Ugh. Yikes. What's up, Yuchiro? Good to see you, man. People living underwater for 7 days. How do you do that? Shark Week. All of the, oh, what's he going for? Ugh. You know how they always say, and I don't know, Angie, you might be able to corroborate this. You know how they say sometimes like women who work together around each other a lot, like they kind of sync up, if you know what I mean? Well, the same thing happens at work, and all the girls at work, when it's that special time, they call it Shark Week. So I'll hear them all the time, like, stay away from me, it's Shark Week or whatever. So I know there's like 4 or 5 of them that are in the middle of Shark Week, and to not poke the bear. I learned that. I learned it. Yeah, Ref man, I was all up in Hawaii last week. Got back a week ago, but I have a timeshare there. We go every couple of years and spend time with the family. My mom was there, stepdad, siblings, brother-in-law, niece. It's a, oh, God. Darby's dead. That's it. He's not kicking out of that. Yeah, I thought so. It's like Brody's got to win this unless other people come out. I do like his finisher when it's hit right. Even when it's not hit right, it still looks ridiculously devastating. Oh. It looks dangerous. Oh, sitting right on Darby's chest, too. Jesus. Darby just died. Yeah, he kind of did. Oh, he's going to keep going on him? Oh, no. Leave Darby alone. What did he do to you? Oh, trying to bring Sting out. No, he's here now. Wearing a leather trench coat in July, but it's all good. I like that there's no music. I appreciate that there's no Sting music. Oh, no. Brody's got Sting now. He's going to work him over. Oh, no. Oh, lights are out. I would assume this is Malachi. Maybe Julia Hart with some mist. How much you want to bet Julia Hart sprays him with mist in the face? No, maybe not. Lights are out. Oh, there we go. I like this. Is Sting taller than Malachi Black? For real? Oh. Oh, and he got missed. There we go. There's the black mist. I was like, is Sting allowed to get misted? I think it would be cool if Sting joined the House of Black as like a JJ or a Ric Flair of Evolution, but just in a dark role. Why not? Miro's coming out to save Darby and Sting. I love they have shark foam hats in the audience. Look at him fucking rocking boss shades on Miro. He's such a fucking stud. There's so few of us, you know. Looks like he's got a black eye or something. Did something happen to his eye? forgot. I haven't seen any issues between these two. Did he get misted in the face or something? And he's got the Jake Roberts eye. I can't imagine Miro being in the House of Black. Yeah, so I'm not sure why his eye's covered. Something must have happened. I just haven't seen it, or I forgot. Jimmy Fingers, thank you very much, dude, for that $10 super chat. I am sure you saw the attack on Ric Flair to hype his last match. I thought it was well done, but I am convinced Ric Flair would like nothing more than to die in a wrestling ring. This match is so unnecessary. The angle they shot was done real well. I talked about it Monday night on the Raw review. I thought it looked really good. They're going all in on this. There's 6+ promotions all contributing to Ric Flair's last match card. The card itself looks pretty good. A lot of big personalities. Do I think it's necessary? No. I think Ric Flair has really got no business in the ring wrestling. I will always consider his match at WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels his last match, and anything else he does after this is just extra or bonus. I don't really consider this to be Flair's true retirement. I consider that to be in 2008. So anything Flair wants to do here is his prerogative, but I'm not going to have the emotion behind this Flair retirement like I did in 2008. You know, I'm not going to ultimately care as much. I just want him to not die. I think that should be his number one focus, and he'll be well protected in the match with the people who are in there with him. And at the end of the day, though, yes, unnecessary. The minute he getting back in the ring 12 years ago in 2010 was unnecessary. And here we are now. He's fucking knocking on heaven's door, and he's wanting to get back in the ring still. After, all of the years of wear and tear on his body, his bad health, his pacemakers, his extremely old age. And he still wants to work and bleed. So whatever. I hope he doesn't bleed too much because he's going to have a post-match tearful promo, and I just don't want to see a bunch of blood and tears all over his face. But blood, sweat, and tears, I should say, all over his face, even though it would be appropriate. But I kind of agree with you. But Flair's going to do what Flair's going to want to do, and I've stopped really caring about what Flair tries to do. $5 more from you. Thank you, dude. Tony Khan needs to cool it with the lights out gimmick until it's Bray or the Briscoes. I do think he needs to cool it with the lights out, unless it's something like House of Black. I don't mind House of Black or Sting doing the lights out. It's kind of their deal. But when the lights go out and they come back on and it's Cody or it's just, Miro or somebody else coming back, we don't need it all the time. But when you think about it, it's also kind of being established as one of AEW's things. Do they do it too much? Yes. But, we are starting to associate lights out now with AEW. And anytime they go out can be either a huge surprise or a letdown. And at least it keeps us on our toes, But I do believe they have done the lights out thing a couple of more times than I would have, where when it happens, you feel like something major is going to happen. And then when the lights come up, it's somebody who you don't even know who it is. You know what I mean? So I get it. But yeah, when Bray or the Briscoes come out, then for sure. Look at Cole Carter. How old is he? 14? Jesus. Oh, good. Tony's got a shark hat. Tony looks ridiculous. Is it normal to jump on a trampoline and Speedos with half-pound weights? Of course. What else are you going to do with your free time? Watch TV? Yeah, Ref. My trampoline's out back. I plan on doing a little mostly naked jumping myself when the stream is over. I'm going to do jumping jacks and all that stuff. Just so I'm ready and constantly in shape in case I get a call. I don't know what Cole Carter said. Something like, I don't like you. All right, this is going to be best friends against Mox and Yuta, it appears. Check out the best friends in the superstar Billy Graham gear. I have a friend that not only looks, but acts just like Chuck Taylor. And it just trips me out. His name's Tyler. I go to his house almost every year for Super Bowl. And he has a different hot girlfriend every year. Fucking player. He's like 2 years older than me, too. Here comes the Wheeler. I guess Moxley's going to come through the crowd on his own. I love William Regal. I just love to see William Regal on professional wrestling cable TV. All right, Wheeler and Mox, if you don't win this, then I will shit a raccoon out of my butt. Gian! The interim champion. Love that match he had last week. Wish we would have been up here to watch that together live. He had against Takeshita. That was good shit. Cassidy's on commentary. Is he going to talk? Did you ever see Grandma's Boy? I once gave Charlie Chaplin a hand job. Was he silent? Ugh. Andy, I think her contract is already up. I think Sasha's been released from WWE quietly, but I'm sure she has got some sort of massive no-compete, and I think the earliest we're going to see Sasha Banks in any other wrestling ring other than WWE's is 2023. That's my take on what the information that we currently have. So we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, I feel like if Sasha's not going back to WWE, she absolutely will go to AEW because it's really her only other option and her best option outside of WWE if she wants to continue wrestling. Because I don't really believe that she's going to go off and do movies and shit. She only did that one thing. So it's not like she's got some big booming career like Cena or The Rock. She'll probably be wrestling. And she'd be a fucking difference maker in that promotion. I can't see them doing to Sasha what they did to like Ruby Riott and stuff. I think if Sasha comes in, she will be a big deal. And hopefully will be the beginning of better booking in the women's division. Because the talent's coming in, and the talent and the strength of the roster is infinitely better than it was 3 years ago when they started. But the booking hasn't been a whole lot better, so they got to work on that. Don't bring somebody in, have them win a battle royal, give them a couple big high-profile matches on TV, and then forget about them, immediately. It's a balance, though. You only got 3 hours of cable TV to balance all this talent, and sometimes it feels like talent does go missing for several weeks. That's also in part because in WWE has conditioned the mind to believe that they need to see everybody every single week. When I was a kid growing up in the 80s, I would go multiple weeks without seeing the Intercontinental Champion or hearing from Hulk Hogan or seeing a lot of wrestlers, because there was a short amount of TV time and it was mostly enhancement matches and hyping the next show or pay-per-view or live events around the country. But not everybody needed to have a presence every week. It wasn't until WCW and WWE started the Monday Night Wars that all the big stars basically had something to do every week. And so that is the way the fans now believe it should be. So if a wrestler is absent, they're like, well, where are they? Maybe they're just not booked this week. It's okay. It's not a big deal. So I believe there's a balance there too, or a difference between those two. But it does become a little bit obvious sometimes in AEW that some of this talent is just not being used for really any other good reason other than they just didn't put them on the card that week. So they should try to spread the TV time around as best as they can, but you still have top talent that you must feature as much as possible. So it's not like Tony Khan's got 30 years of booking experience. He's a brand new owner. There's going to be a learning curve. He's going to make a bunch of mistakes and learn from them and learn not to do them again. Sasha came in and faced Jade. I'm curious what Sasha's name would be. If it would just be Sasha, if she's allowed to use Sasha and nothing else, or if it would have to be Mercedes Banks or just Mercedes. But we already have a Mercedes Martinez. I don't know what she could be called. I'm watching a Kurt Angle clip on Twitter that was funny. Yeah, I like Yuta and Trent scrapping. Sorry, I haven't been paying this match much mind. I'm just not really that. I'm not really that torn on the outcome here. I kind of feel like this has got to be Mox and Yuta all the way, but you never know. I thought Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland were going to break up, and they won the tag team titles, so you never really know for sure in AEW. Nice. Yeah, if I was Sasha, I would probably just want to use my real name so I can establish that as something that you can just use everywhere. But then again, if she's, she's very young too, or mostly young. So she could be thinking big picture. If I go to AEW, keep something as close to the Sasha Banks name as possible, something that sounds like it, or Sarah Banks, or just Sasha and nothing else, or something to where because she's somebody who seems to, understand business and her worth, she should always keep the option open to return to WWE. She should never burn that bridge completely. She should always acknowledge, at least in her head, that could happen. So if it does, she'll come back as Sasha Banks. So if she's just spent, the last 5 or 6 several years establishing a whole new name that sounds completely different, like her real name, only to go back to WWE to be Sasha Banks again, I don't know. She might want to keep something Sasha-like in her name, but I have no idea. I'll be interested to see where it all settles and where she goes and what the end result is. And like I said on the podcast on Saturday, WWE still hasn't acknowledged or made any sort of official announcement, and they might not want to, because they know officially announcing Sasha Banks' release will get Sasha Banks a shit ton of press. It's going to melt Twitter. Everybody, Sasha's gone, AEW, and all the speculation is going to start officially. You're going to have 10 million YouTube videos coming up from people saying, what is she going to do in AEW? Who should she feud with? What will her name be? When will they bring her in? It's going to give Sasha Banks so much publicity that WWE might just not want to give her the satisfaction of that publicity. So they're not going to officially announce it because there's no rule that says they have to. How come WWE hasn't announced it? They don't have to announce it if they don't want to. It's their business and Sasha's. I don't think they're obligated to publicly announce it. They usually do, but I don't think there's anything written that says they absolutely have to. So it's probably more of a spite thing or a revenge thing. Both parties feel like they're done wrong. Snoop Doggy Banks. I wonder if Snoop will make a whole new song for her in AEW. Unless she can use the song. Well, no, it's got too many Sasha Banks lyrics in it. Snoop probably doesn't have the rights to that. WWE does, but you never know. Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do with Ali or Roderick Strong. That's WWE's just going to have to bite the bullet and let them go one day. We'll see. But there's no way to predict that. So I have no material or evidence I can draw from to try to make any sort of real prediction on when or if Ali or Strong, number one, will ever get released, and number two, will go to AEW. Like, how would I even know how to discuss that? I have no idea. That's up to WWE. I say they should let him go. But what I want and what WWE does are usually two very different things. Yeah, poor Naomi. Nobody's talking about her. I think Naomi should stay in WWE, to be honest. Naomi is somebody that I feel could go to AEW and get lost in the poor women's division booking that they tend to have there. I think it would be lazy just to stick her with Jade and make her a baddie. I think that would be so fucking lazy, because she's a veteran worth so much more than that. I'd have her come in and beat Jade or something, but I don't, Athena came in, Ruby Soho came in, and I see her going the same direction as them, where Sasha's different. Wow, there goes Chucky T right over the timekeeper's table. Mox deposited him. But Naomi, she's got her husband in WWE. She's marketable. I think WWE will do a good job of that. She'll probably get the most exposure in WWE, and I think that's the best place for her. But I also don't blame her for being disgruntled either, so. I want Naomi to go where she's the happiest. Let's just say that. All right, so Chucky T is... he's coming back. I was about to say he's taken out, but he's back in there already. Oh, there we go. We'll just switch it. Look at that shark cage up there. That's a trip. Whoa. That was a rough pile driver by Mox, or to Mox. Is this it? No. Mox must be all right because the referee's not freaking out or nothing, but he came down so hard on the top of his head. Holy shit. Whew. Michael, appreciate the $5, dude. Met Jim Duggan last Saturday. He's officially the nicest wrestler I've ever met. Ask me how my job is. Ask me my favorite wrestler, Savage, etc. That's awesome. I have seen Duggan wrestle before, but I've never met him. Oof. Nice Yuta. I don't know what that's called. Maybe that's a... Ooh, not a skin the cat, skin the kitten. Moxley with the running knee. Glad he's not dead after that pile driver. My God. Double clothesline. All four men are down. I love the overhead shot. It's always a good shot in wrestling. I'm ready for Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, Johnny Gargano. I'm ready for lots of people to come in when the time is right. He kicked out at 2 pile drivers. Cornette is not going to like that. What does Cornette like? What doesn't drive that man stark raving mad? Imagine spending 23 and a half hours a day being pissed about shit. And then people worshiping this type of behavior. He speaks facts. He seems pissed all the time. Doesn't seem like a happy way to live to me. Figure 4 on the floor. To Trent. Oh. Nice. Look at that combination by Wheeler. Oh. Nice. Seatbelt. That's what that's called? Like, I don't know what Yuta is doing, but he's tying Chucky into a pretzel. Nice pinning combination. And Wheeler got the pin. Maybe they're not the mega powers. They're the moderate powers, the minor powers. Yuta and Moxley. The minor, yeah, the minor, yeah, the minor powers, yeah. Minor powers. The moderately successful powers. The one thing I do like about Trump, I'm sorry I said Trump. The one thing I do like about Cornette is how over the top he is with his, and it's a shtick now, obviously, because he makes a lot of money off his YouTube channel, and if he starts being Mr. Nice Guy, his views are going to drop. We all know that. We all know why he's doing it. Nobody's debating that. But what I think is great about Cornette is how mad he gets all the time, and how over the top he is with his wrestling opinions, and they're usually extremely biased, and they're just kind of done to cater to the lowest common denominator fan, right? And he's got all of that going on, and a lot of the people that like that type of rhetoric and like that type of attitude and like that type of behavior online are like big MAGA people. And Jim Cornette hates Donald Trump worse than he hates AEW. And so it's just funny that I notice like a lot of the MAGAs tend to like the attitude of somebody like Cornette, but what do they think when he just starts raking Trump over the coals, which he often and frequently does in his podcasts? Got to put them in a tight spot, doesn't it? I think it's humorous. It's a humorous takeaway from Cornette. So as obnoxious as Cornette is, at least he ain't a MAGA guy. That would make everything 100 times worse. Could you imagine that? If Cornette was talking all that smack on his podcast with a fucking MAGA hat on. Oh, my God. Here they come. We're going to get a championship celebration. Break out the Cavassier. Keith Lee doesn't seem like a drinker to me. Strickland does. But Keith Lee, he's such a good dude. If he does drink, he drinks extremely responsibly and in moderation. Strickland, though, probably gets down. He probably gets funky. Oh, nice. I like their color-codedness. Color-coordinatedness, I should say. The 8th AEW World Tag Team Champions. I saw the very first title change in AEW history when Hangman and Omega beat SCU on the cruise. Well, they got some champagne out there. I'm going to have to inspect that champagne because in WWE they use the cheapest shit. Carmella was out there with fucking Cooks, which you can get for $1.89 a bottle at your neighborhood Ralph's. And I'm like, damn, WWE. I know the majority of your audience isn't going to know the difference between good champagne and bad champagne, but some of us do. If Carmella's really rolling in the money, she ain't buying Cooks. Unless her toilet is out of water and she needs something to fill it with. Then get some Cooks. Did Tony just say, Swerve, talk to me, brother? That's awesome. What the fuck is Keith Lee wearing? Something awesome. I like what he's wearing. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I like it. I can't even make out what the hell is even on that. Is that some sort of anime thing that I wouldn't know about? Some reference? Who's this guy? Kevin Gates. Best-selling rapper? That's his name? That's like a normal name. It's like a normal human name. He ain't like Lil Kevin Gates or anything. Just Kevin Gates? All right. Is he any good? He's got his champagne. Oh, nice plug for the man. That was nice of Strickland.
Actually, before we move on, I got one question, Mr. Gates.
When you drop in the deluxe. The fans like, I have no idea. Like, Kevin Gates, get the fuck out of here. To gain these sweet things. Oh, what's his name? Is it Craig Robinson, the big guy from This Is the End and The Office? You know, the big guy. Big Craig. He's Daryl on The Office, I think, right? He sounds like Keith Lee, his voice. He's in a Papa John's commercial. And the other night on Raw, I wasn't watching the screen when the commercial was on. And I hear his voice, and I think Keith Lee. I'm like, is that Keith Lee? And it wasn't. It was just like the Papa John's commercial. So anyway, if you close your eyes, next time you hear that guy talk, tell me it doesn't sound just like Keith Lee. A toast. Limitless. I hope it is. I hope it's a good run. No toast. Is this Starks? Nope. It's Sterling. Yeah, you better watch your tone. Keith Lee's like, I will kill you. Looks like from Dragon's Ball Z. See, I've heard of Dragon Ball Z, but I have no idea what it is. I don't know if it's a video game or a cartoon or what. I don't even know. I'm that illiterate. Okay, let's look at that champagne. It's definitely shit because it has the foil. There's too much ugly foil. Oh, I can't tell. That is definitely anything great. But it's better than Cook's. Just based on the eye test of that champagne and what I know of champagne and the good ones, I'd go about $30 a bottle on that. That's what I would guess. Maybe even 20. But it ain't nothing good. It's not Dom. It's not Veuve Clicquot. It's not Perrier-Jouet. It's not Cristal. It's not Bollinger. It's not Bellicart. They're trying to sign this Kevin Gates. Kevin's like, get out of here. His music sucks. Well, I'll have to listen. Oh, he's like, oh, yeah, you want to say that? Are these guys stupid? Because you got Strickland and Lee over here, and this Kevin Gates ain't a small guy. He's bigger than Nice. Oh! Damn. Did he tag him for real? That's a pretty good shot. Well, this is a SmackDown segment if I've ever seen one. Man. Oh, yeah, forget that Jericho's the Painmaker. Dragon Ball is anime. Okay. There's a whole culture that I'm so completely unaware of. So many of my followers have like anime avatars and profile pics. I have no idea what any of them are, what they mean, or and the whole world is just something I know nothing about. So that Bullet Train movie, is that Bad Bunny is in that? With Brad Pitt? What's up, Victor? Dynamite's fun so far.
And if you listen to those who said you needed art degree, you never would have perfected the street look that made him a street legend.
You know Disney, Greg? Disney. I don't know. What does it do? What is a Disney? I've never heard of it. Disney. No. Sorry, drawing a blank on Disney. Is it something that's popular? Or what is it, like a game or something? Yes, of course, I know Disney. Greg either looks like Master Rochi or Krylin. Who are them dudes? Probably pretty awesome dudes, I would assume. Smart, talented, tall, tanned, sexy, well-educated. Stuff like that. Look at Veronica Fox. I mean, Vivica Fox. Doing a Car Shield commercial. You know what, Vivica? If you're selling the car insurance, I'm buying it. How hot was she back in the day? My God. Vivica Fox.
What if there was a secure base with lots of tough layers to get through? And even a separately secure base to keep your most important stuff private.
Well, not to sound, not in the,
Security you want. You can have it right
to risk sounding like an idiot. Derval. I don't know what Nope is. Movie? I watch literally no TV. My girlfriend and I watch shows that we binge watch from back in the day or movies, and that's about it. Otherwise, it's Friends and Seinfeld reruns on Nick. But other than that, I don't watch nothing. And I miss a lot of movie trailers. Like, I don't see them. Look at that mustache. Oh, I love Butcher's Bowie shirt. That's awesome. Butch. No, don't put that on. Silver's wearing Backstreet Boys. Oh. Butcher and Blade are beating up, I guess, Reynolds and Silver. That's sad. He can't be Butch. WWE has a Butch. Hangman, coming to save the Dark Order. Look at that shirt he's wearing. Just the right amount of buttons, undone. It's good stuff. Am I going to see Nope? Nope. Sorry, no interest in Nope. Don't even know what the fuck Nope is. I don't even have time to watch shit I am interested in. So, I ain't taking any, like, random chances on other stuff. A world-class scumbag. That is Christian Cage. I'm liking this heel lucha. That's gotta be lucha. It does sound a little like Kane. Oh, nice, Angie. Your daughter's going to go meet Hangman Page on Saturday. That's awesome. What did you say earlier about it being like hot as hell where you are in Virginia? Oh, yeah, you were talking about Sting's jacket. That's right. Well, that's awesome. Get a good picture of that. Here comes the varsities. They're going to lose. Yeah. You guys are not going to win. Well, Christian's not old enough to have any interactions with Brian Pillman. He came around a little bit after Pillman was gone. How old's Griff Garrison? Like 17? He's going to be a senior this year at Varsity High. Oh, okay. She's going on her own. I got you. You got to work. I don't need you, Mom. I'll take my own pictures. Oh. Well, I hope this is going to be somewhat of a squash on Pillman Jr. There's roughing up Pillman. Is this cancel culture? Poor Pillman. He's young and naive. Nice guy, just dumb. Oh, I think Pillman Jr. deserves a ton of credit for his, considering who his parents were. You know, father died when he was literally a baby, and we all know the problems that Melanie went through, who just passed away just a matter of weeks ago. And for him to still not go down the wrong path and be driven to do something and ambitious enough to, when you have no support or, role models in your life, adult role models, that most people get a lot of that guidance from their parents. He obviously didn't get that from either of them. And to still be able to get himself in shape, train to become a wrestler, get himself a job and a major promotion. He's on cable TV. If he never even gets higher than this, that should be considered a success, And that's it. Just like that. I'm glad that was I just said that. I'm like, this should be as much of a squash as possible. And it was. And Christian came in to take the pin. He's the mastermind. I kind of like this. We never really saw this version of Christian from what I can remember in WWE or TNA. He seems to be this this mentor leadership type of role where he's able to manipulate. And here we go. Jungle's finally making his return. I was wondering if tonight would be the night. Scissor me daddy ass. Just had to read that sign. There he is. He's Jungle Man now. Please tell me he's got a beard. Please. Please be a beard. Kinda. Ooh, he's wearing a black jacket. That means he means business. Oh, wow. Lucha. Is this a double swerve? Is Lucha going to turn heel or turn babyface with Jungle? And they're going to join up here and go jump Christian? Or is Lucha still really, really a heel? I think they're together. Yep. I wasn't convinced. Because if you remember, Luchasaurus didn't turn heel by attacking Jungle Boy. Well, he could still go heel again. I mean, they could swerve us here. But Luchasaurus just came out as a heel. He never really attacked Jungle Boy or anything. So until that happened, I wasn't going to be convinced. All right, well, I called that one, huh? I might not be that smart. Maybe everybody was sitting on their couch calling the same thing. The Gun Club. So, for those of you who watch a little more of the Gun Club than I do, I mean, I've seen their matches and shit. I think they're great. But I don't think I've really studied them. So which Gunn brother is better? Does anybody have an opinion on that? Which one shows you more in the ring? A rap battle. They seem kind of equal on the mic, but the little one seems to have a little extra pizzazz to him. So he's going to challenge Caster to a rap battle? Okay. This Friday on Rampage. Rap battle. Rap battle Rampage. All right, JR. Now, this is a new thing they're doing, apparently, bringing JR out for the second hour or later on in the show. Kind of dividing his time up. Maybe recognizing that 2 hours of JR is a bit much. And this is probably a good move. Janine, it's time for JR to only be doing half of the show. Unfortunately, he's just, he's old now. And it's starting to show in his work. He's not the JR of old, and that's not his fault. That's just what happens. So I think he needs to be used accordingly. Even Gordon Soley was phased out. The greats that's what happens. You have to do that. So JR can still be a presence. You can still have his voice available for most of your shows. But I don't think he's up to the task of being there at this point. I mean, Excalibur is essentially doing the job that JR used to do back in WWE back in the day in terms of informing the fans of who a lot of people were and their histories and where they came from and their stories and stuff. So JR is just there for, a legend, to have the legend representation, have that voice, that iconic voice that's synonymous with all the great moments in WWE and WCW and history. It's just the novelty of him that's nice to have there, but he can't really be relied upon to be the main person to tell the stories anymore. And Excalibur does a great job. Fucking Mr. Micro Machines when he's running through those promo spots. Ricky Starks is so good. I'm still hoping that the problems that we saw between Lee and Strickland still, aren't going to just evaporate away now. I still think they will maybe come back up around the time that the two of them are losing the titles, and maybe there's still a chance for Team Taz to win the tag titles, because I was hoping for Starks and Hobbs to grab those belts. I got no issue with it being Lee and Strickland, but I want to see some gold on Hobbs. I like him. He's improved a lot as well and gotten himself in really stupid shape. If he keeps working out at this rate, he'll eventually look just like me. And that's going to be scary. Who is better, Excalibur or Corey Graves? I think they're kind of both. I think they're both equally good in their respective roles. I think Corey Graves is a very good modern color play-by-play person. When he first started, he was getting the Jesse the Body Ventura comparisons because he probably borrowed in a lot and was inspired by a lot of Jesse's commentary. I think Pat McAfee is infinitely better than Corey Graves, but Corey is good at what he does. Excalibur, same thing. He's an excellent version. He's an excellent modern version of your Jim Ross, your Mike Tenay's, your play-by-play guys that would do their best to inform you with backgrounds and who people are, and keeping the audience as up to speed as possible. And plus, Excalibur can be allowed to do it without somebody in his earpiece screaming, to make sure he's get the buzzwords in and all that. He can just fucking roll out his shit and let people know who these are because he's educated and informed on the business. I'm pro Excalibur. I think he does great. I haven't seen much of Cole Carter. Like I said, he looks to be about 14, busted open in the mouth. I mean, the business, man, it's got to be so hard to. I mean, the business is so saturated. It's got to be. It's just like YouTube. The same thing. It's not like it was, years ago. Now there's just so many people, overloading the market. And there's all this inflation and stuff, and it's kind of the same thing in wrestling. A lot of these guys are all just starting to look alike, and you got to just really be special to stand out. That's why when you do stand out, you should be proud of it, because you're standing out in an even greater field now than what you were before. And you got a whole bunch of people your literal exact same weight, doing the same thing. Similar physique, similar haircut, similar weight, similar look, similar moveset. You got to stand out. And I'm glad that I'm not an aspiring 21-year-old wrestler right now, because I wouldn't even know where the fuck to begin.
When it comes to our skin, what if it could feel differently? Say hello to Absolura for the treatment of mild to moderate eczema. Absolura is a steroid-free cream, proven to help clear skin and significantly reduce itch. Do not start Absolura if you have any infections and may lower your ability to fight them.
I think if you did do the title match and you did have Hobbs and Starks take the belt from Lee and Strickland, I would like to see a finish where it's like Hobbs pinning Keith Lee type of thing. Not only are you winning the tag team titles, but that's also kind of a statement pin for Hobbs as well, and could elevate him individually while elevating the team at the same time, and it would be like a double win for them.
So what could that mean for your skin?
And then you got a natural storyline there for the inevitable future one day split between Starks and Hobbs. If, Starks is kind of the star of the show, he's the one that gets the comparisons to 1998 Rock all the time. And if Hobbs is the one to put Keith Lee down and win the tag team titles for them, and he starts to be the one that the announcers are putting over more, and pay attention to that if they do. If they start focusing a lot on Hobbs and his improvement and how good he looks and how dominant he is, and the more Hobbs talk and the less Starks talk, I feel like, well, there you go. There's your storyline to where Starks can kind of just get a little bit jealous of maybe Hobbs getting a little bit more appreciation than him, and that leads to a little rift, some dissension, maybe a disagreement of some kind, and when they lose the titles, they can do a split as well. Because Hobbs and Starks and Lee and Strickland, you don't really feel like are going to be permanent teams throughout AEW. Where FTR and and the Bucks and Best Friends and other teams like that feel a little bit more permanent. All right, we are back. Wait a minute, did I miss something? Is the FTW title on the line here? No, it can't be. Yeah, AEW, man, when AEW does go and do like a European tour and they hit London or something, I think they're going to do incredible business there. I do. Like, those fans were nuts for TNA, weren't they? They turn out for WWE events. Anytime WWE runs a Raw there at the O2 or wherever, fucking packed. Sold out. There's definitely a wrestling audience where if AEW could put together a European tour, it would be insane. Oof, 450 attempted and missed. Oh, nice. That's ball game. Starks is so good. Don't know enough about Cole Carter or Troy Two Dimes to make a good enough assessment there, transferring heat. I don't even think I ever saw Two Dimes. He's the fellow that just got released, right? Stark's theme is pretty good, isn't it? I gotta hand it to AEW. They get good themes. They do. I think that's one thing that really helps them.
But guess what? I got a little bit more in the tank, baby.
I think you could argue, I'm not saying it's true, I think you could at least argue that their themes are a little better than WWE's. You can make the argument.
In the yellow shirt, Wu-Tang shirt.
You might lose the argument, but you can at least make it.
Another challenge out here. What is he talking about? We didn't really discuss this.
60,000 for the castle. Oh, there's the Handhausen. Look how scared Ricky Starks is. You don't want to get... Seems to have some new music or something, doesn't he? Look at the merch this dude pushes, man. Right now, Danhausen wants an FTW shot. Hook could come in and help him out here. I didn't mean right now. Oh, he won't do it right now. Well, you said.
No, it ain't gonna happen right now. I still need some time to adjust to get my neck right. So how about this?
Adjust to get my neck right. Next week. Oh, come on.
You still can watch it at home. Don't worry. It's gonna be absolute Ricky Starks versus Dan Hougen.
Yeah, Danhausen. Get my mic right. I'm interested in this barbed wire Bohemian Bonanza or whatever the fuck it is. Now we got Athena and Willow Nightingale taking on Kiera Hogan and the Jadester.
As many have seen on social media, we now have a big women's
Good for Willow getting a Dynamite match. Good for her. Fans seem to really like her.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious why. But it is what it is. You know, I think Layla not being here tonight, that's a sign. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's an opportunity to reevaluate what we really want here in AEW. Like, for example, Stat. That AEW was
Athena is so pretty.
amazing around your waist. And, of course, the TBS championship would look absolutely perfect around mine, right? Yeah. I like that. Stat, don't you
Statlander, non-alien Statlander, I like. That was probably the right move to make. Imagine the U-Haul cost to get your shit from Andronima to here. God damn. Probably cost her whole first contract. Jimmy Fingers, welcome back, dude. Appreciate 10 more bucks from you, my friend. Greg, who do you think wins a women's title first, Athena or Statlander? I think Statlander is the most deserving, and her time is now. As for that FTW title, that needs to be buried with the 24/7 title. I kind of agree with everything you said. Between Athena and Statlander, I would go Statlander. She seems to be the one that has improved. Fans like. She's put more time in there, and I'd be into her. And the FTW title, I didn't really have a problem with it at first. But now that you've added so many new championships, we have the All-American title now and the TBS championship. They're going to be bringing trios tags in. You've merged with Ring of Honor. Now you've got all their shit all over your show. If there's one time when you don't need to have an FTW title, it's now. So I would like to see them do an angle where the FTW title just evaporates or goes away, or maybe Danhausen teleports it into another dimension or something. I'd be into that. FTW and the 24/7 title both are pretty useless, but probably more so the 24/7 title. That championship is terrible. It's so lazily booked and stupidly booked, and I fucking hate it. The FTW title I don't hate. I just think there's too many belts, and that's one you could eliminate to help, the fact that there's too many belts. And tell Britt and Adam Cole when he comes back to stop bringing those Owens around with them. We don't need those either. They're awesome, but we don't need them on TV. Leave them up on your mantle over your fireplace, where they belong. So, yeah, thanks for that, Jimmy, and I agree with what you say. Destiny, I have not heard Taz. Is Taz out there? I don't even know. I haven't been paying that much attention. I don't think Taz is on commentary. He might be. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Danhausen can curse the title and it sets on fire. That's a great idea. Angie, is Eddie Kingston and Ruby Soho dating? Oh my God, I hope so. I don't know. I have not heard that. I thought Eddie Kingston, I was just assuming he was married or something. I guess not. That's an interesting visual. Don't act like you're not picturing it. Don't be fronting. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, Angie. Interesting. Well, good for them. I hope it's true. Yeah, that is just not something that I've come across. So that might be common knowledge in the wrestling world. I just don't know about it. But I don't know. But either way, it ain't our business. But if they're together, I hope they're deliriously happy. All right, we hear from FTR, just like the graphic said. We're going to hear from them. You can put the FTW title on Hook, maybe, but like I said, FTW title should just go away. We don't need it. I mean, here we have two guys with 6 belts on them. 2 men, 6 belts. See what I mean? We don't need the FTW. It is kind of cool to see the IWGP and the Ring of Honor and AAA. That's quite the trio of belts there. So even though, it's too many belts, if you can just put that out of your mind for a second and acknowledge how kind of fucking cool that is. The fans will get hung up on one thing and they'll act like, yeah, nobody's arguing that there's too many titles, but that shouldn't ruin some cool shit for you. Like, this is actually a pretty cool visual. I mean, there's 3 well-known promotions, champions of all 3 of them. Both have long histories. I think that's pretty fucking awesome. This is better than when the Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions came into WWE. This is much better than that. These are much more decorated championships with a lot more history and a lot more Hall of Fame names wearing them. Fucking Bam Bam and Vader held those belts, man. 2 men, 6 belts sounds like a link I wouldn't click on. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I remember when those 2 girls, 1 cup reaction videos were all over the place. Those were so funny. I watched a million of those and never watched the actual video. Yeah. Cash is right. I'm pissed. Next Saturday, I have to work. I'm not going to be able to watch Death Before Dishonor. It's a big night for me at work, and I can't miss it, so it sucks. But I'll watch it when I get home or catch up on it when I get home. It's going to be a crazy good match. What was the crazy one they had in NXT? Was it against DIY? Was that 2 out of 3 falls also? You think they're trying to go to maybe eclipse that? I think their goal is to have the best match on the pay-per-view.
Five-year-old girl back home, and her parents took her to this routine checkup to the doctor, and he was listening to her chest and listening to her back, and he heard something weird, and it was an irregular heartbeat. And the doctor said, "Hey, don't worry, parents. Let's just go to the cardiologist, get some X-rays done. Let's get a CT scan and MRI."
Who's he talking about? His daughter?
So they went to the cardiologist, and they found out this little 5-year-old girl had a hole in the bottom of her heart. And the doctor told the parents, if this little girl worked hard, she fought hard, she could overcome this and that hole would close up on its own. But if not, they would have to do open heart surgery, which, you know, is a big risk for a 5-year-old. So fast forward 3 years later, and this little girl, she goes back to the same cardiologist, and he does the X-rays, he does the MRIs, and he looks, and the hole is completely closed.
Who's the 5-year-old girl?
This little girl worked her
His
ass
daughter?
off. She fought her ass off to make sure she was healthy. And that little girl, the 8-year-old girl, is my daughter.
Okay, it's his daughter. Well, good for her, man. That's got to be a relief as a parent, knowing they don't got to open her up and fix her.
That little 8-year-old girl will fight that hard for something that's not promised to her. Well, Daddy's got to do the same thing. Saturday night, Daddy's got to fight that hard to bring home the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships and bring home a legacy she can be proud of.
Good for you, Dax. Go do it for your little girl. I'm glad wrestlers can draw from their kids for inspiration, you know?
Saturday night. I love y'all too. Saturday night, pay-per-view, Death Before Dishonor, Briscoes. I'm gonna fight like an 8-year-old girl.
I'm going
I'm gonna beat your ass.
Cash is laughing. At Death Before Dishonor, I'm going to fight like an 8-year-old girl. That's hilarious. It's like that Triple H line at the King of the Ring, and he goes, wait a minute, did I just mean to say that? Maybe he meant to say I'm going to fight like my 8-year-old girl. That would make more sense. I'm going to fight like an 8-year-old girl. Oh, God.
This Saturday Night Live on
This Saturday Night Live.
Before Dishonor, it's you, Jay Lethal, against your mentor, Samoa Joe, for the ROH
Jay Lethal and
Championship. But
Lethal and Joe on Saturday.
Christopher Daniels, Lexington, I don't care. You say Christopher Daniels? I don't care about Christopher Daniels. Saturday night.
Man, some old school shit, man. Daniels and Sonjay and Lethal. Joe. My God.
Gotta wait till Saturday to crown me the new TV champion. I'd do it today. I would have done it last week, but Samoa Joe just doesn't show up to work. What is wrong with you? Stop. Let me explain something to you, Jay Lethal. Samoa Joe's not gonna
Look at Chris Daniels. That dude's like 7 or 8 years older than me. He looks younger than me.
But if you're so anxious to get into a wrestling ring, I'll be in the
Chris representing the Baldies.
and why don't you come try to talk tough to me then? What the hell is his problem?
I'm proud to be sometimes confused with him. Handsome fella, that Chris Daniels. Yeah, good call, TJ. They should have brought out Shark Boy. What's he up to these days? Could put him in Lethal, because didn't Shark Boy used to do the Stone Cold impression? Put him with Lethal, and it can be Shark Boy Austin against Lethal Flair or whatever. I don't know. All right, here comes Kiera Hogan and Jade Cargill. Yep, Jade Cargill takes her vitamins. I'm really still depressed that I got blocked by Jade Cargill because I meant no disrespect. But I think I insulted her when I included her in a sentence with Nia Jax. But I didn't tag her, which means she searches herself. And she blocked me. But I like Jade. So if you're ever bored one day, tag Jade Cargill in a tweet, tell her to unblock me because we give her props. Oh, yeah, she's from Atlanta. I forgot. like her in the blue. Belt looks good on her. I remember sitting here. I just moved into this house, and I wasn't even unpacked yet. And I was watching Dynamite when she debuted, and I'm like, who is this? Like, she had a presence instantly. Like, usually a newcomer won't even make me really turn my head more than once. I'm like, oh, a new person, whoop-de-doo. But you could not, like, ignore her physical presence, you know? Willow. Athena's got those, like, wings on her jacket. That seems something like Jericho would have. Like, it's hard. Like, when I see that on Athena, it makes me laugh because it reminds me of something Jericho would do to be silly. Like, put fucking wings on his jacket that mechanically open and close. All right, we got Team Purple versus Team Blue. Who you got? Jermaine Dupri. Okay, him, I think I know who that is. All right, this is going to be the last match before the main event, most likely. Thank you for that tag, Deshaun. WWE Vacant tweets out, I currently hold 2 tag team championships. What kind of celebration do I get? That's hilarious. Reading through Twitter a little bit here. All right. QR codes are a trip, aren't they? Just that fucking concept to me still blows my mind. Hey, just hold your phone to the screen and all this shit will come up. So I don't know if is Red Velvet at ringside or is she injured or something? If not, you would think she'd run in this. Ooh, big splash onto Hogan. Yeah, I'm pretty bad, TJ. I don't know many rappers except for rappers like from back in the day. I was a pretty big fan of like rap and hip hop, you know, all the way from in the 80s and maybe all the way up to the mid to late 90s, and then I started not paying attention anymore. I was half literate all the way up until around Eminem's beginning. Once he got around, who I also liked, I was kind of aware of most of the big names up until then. But after then, holy shit, am I an idiot. Damn. There are rappers that are more popular than the president that I have never heard of before. And that goes for lots of kinds of music. Here goes Athena. Whoa! Look at there. That's kind of like a Jericho. Well, no, Jericho does the dropkick. Who jumps? Oh, Christian. Christian does the middle rope springboard over the top to the floor. Christian taught her that. No, what the fuck did Ryback do now? What a piece of shit. I'm blocked by him, but I never tweeted him. He just went on a blocking spree and blocked everybody, so I don't believe, let me look him up here, that I can see Ryback's shit. Yeah, he's not popping up, so. Yeah, I'm blocked. I'm blocked from Ryback, proudly. I'm glad I'm blocked. So who knows what that moron said, but he is pathetically irrelevant. He hates it. Desperate for attention. Nobody cares. His brief moment in the sun because an inept creative team decided that maybe potentially he could become a modern version of a Goldberg. and he couldn't become a modern version of a toilet. So he failed miserably. Fans never liked him. He's bitter now. And his answer to what happened to him is not to be grateful for what he had, or to look at what made him suck and try to improve upon it, but instead to just lash out and to say the most asinine things humanly possible just in order to get a reaction and get buzz on social media, because on his own, nobody gives a single malt artisan fuck who or what Ryback is talking about or saying. So fuck Ryback. I say that without even knowing what he said. I'm just assuming it's something stupid. Okay, Red Velvet is injured. Thank you for that. Oh, I know, Gamer Boy. I'm missing out on everything, but if something happens to you, man, when you start getting old, and plus YouTube has a lot, YouTube takes up a lot of my, kind of free time and stuff. So, what I would normally do when I would be normally binge watching shows or listening to new music or getting into video games or anything like that, or watching more sports, I'm usually streaming or preparing streams or something, or at my other job. Trust me, man, I rock out every day to classic rock in my car. I'm perfectly happy with that. I have an endless library of shit that I can always listen to and be perfectly happy with. I listen to all the old school hip hop and rap and rock, everything that I listened to basically when I was younger or that my parents listened to. I'm kind of content with that, to be honest. Like I've been on a Joni Mitchell kick for probably the last I'd say 3 weeks, so I'll move on to something else, but it's kind of been like my summer, my summertime easy listening. Oh. I was wondering if Jade was going to, how easily or well she'd be able to manhandle Willow. But this will be good. Now we got Athena and Jade face to face. Athena, I will say for her too, much like Jade, she does look like a star. She doesn't have a lot of height to her, but she has a great look. And she had good matches in NXT. She can work. Oof, that was a good kick. Nice. Big fall away slam. Damn. And she's up. Oh, and now Athena's up too. Oh. Ooh, that's kind of a shitty looking power bomb. Be right back. Oh, she's got her. 1 second. Oh my God. I almost just choked just for a second there. Sorry, guys. I'm back. I just took an ibuprofen, and I didn't have anything to swallow it with, so I just tried to do it, and then it just sat there, and I'm like, oh. So I went and grabbed a Gatorade, washed it down. All right, back to the beer. We're good. Oh, title match next week.
You are the best of the East. And you are exactly what everybody says. The best of the best. Pero te tengo que advertir algo. Ima, anata wa, watashi mo, omei imasu. The win is coming home, baby. That's what's gonna happen next week.
Okay, that's what's going to happen next week at Fyter.
There's Britt. I was wondering where Britt was. Take the mic away from her. Good to see Britt. Good to see Jamie. Oh, transferring heat. I missed the wardrobe mishap. I was having my own ibuprofen mishap. Be funny if I just puked on the live stream. That'd be hilarious. We've never had a major issue during a live stream. Tito shut down the whole thing one time by rolling over on my power strip in my last apartment. So when I moved into this house, I kind of put all my wires in a nylon tube so he wouldn't get to anything too easily. And he shut down right in the middle of streaming. He just rolled on it, turned it off. But my house hadn't caught fire or nothing like that during a stream, knock on wood. Did he say the Brascos? Okay, Allison Gay, Willow Nightingale has also been added. I want to say we got at least 9 matches for this, probably more, maybe 11. Dalton Castle. Mio Yamashita. And, okay. So it's going to be Fight for the Fallen next week. Ricky Starks and Danhausen. I do like the themed shows they do. The Winter is Coming and the Fyter Fest. It just adds something else to it. It's probably a pretty good idea. Raw and SmackDown are so cookie cutter that you can't tell the goddamn difference between one show and the next. So, put a little extra tagline on there, like what can hurt, All right, Barbed Wire Everywhere coming up. Thank you for that, Excalibur. Excellent reaction by Jim Ross. All right, we're going to get a whole fucking trailer here of some kind. Great. Oh, Jimmy, I forgot to answer that $5 from you earlier, didn't I? Yeah, I think I did. Appreciate that $5.19 that came in a few minutes ago that I missed. I want the lights to go out now and have the Briscoes go to work on FTR. Greg, do you see the Briscoes ever getting to AEW? I will be at the pay-per-view. That's awesome. I don't know. I suppose they could come in. I mean, they're being featured. I mean, they're being talked about on TV, so I feel like you'll see them probably compete there at this point. So, yeah, I mean, they kind of already technically are sort of there, just being associated with the Ring of Honor at all. I kind of don't know. I know there's some sort of controversy attached with them, but I have no idea what it is. Because I know, like, their presence is controversial for some reason, and I don't recall why. So, I think the match at the pay-per-view, though, is going to be fucking insane. It's a long trailer. What are they talking about? Here's another thing that I don't have in common with many wrestling fans is I don't like these type of shows and movies, like period pieces or anything where they doth and doth thou this and thou, and all that shit. Like, I just don't. And kings and queens and castles and sorcerers, and that's just not my thing. I've never liked it. Never watched Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, or I don't even like shit like Braveheart. Like, I don't. No, those things have literal zero appeal to me, and I don't know why. I admit that I'm probably missing out on some good shit because I've never watched Game of Thrones, and people. Oh, that is Game of Thrones, and people fucking freak out over that. But I don't care. Just not. I don't like the fantasy stuff. I don't know why. Never really have. Unless it's like a classic movie or something. But I'm already worried. We're going to start watching our next show on our watch list for me and Elizabeth is going to be Stranger Things, because I've heard really good things about Stranger Things. And even people I work with are like, oh, Greg, you'd love it because you love all that retro shit and you'd see a lot of that stuff there. But every time I've seen a preview or like some sort of clip from the show, it's got like monsters and demons and shit. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. But everybody's like, it's a great show. It's awesome. So we're going to give it a whirl. Oh, Holla Man Boy just literally said asked what I'm talking about. But yeah, I hear good things about Stranger Things. And I'm sure I will like it. It's just normally, I don't care much about monsters, I don't like zombie movies. I think those movies make people think that zombies can actually be a real thing, like there could be a zombie apocalypse. No, there never will and never can be a zombie apocalypse. It can't happen. Bodies will not come out of the graves and attack you. I promise. Oh, check out Big Bang Theory, chick. Yeah, I remember when Stranger Things started. I remember hearing people say, "Oh, have you seen this new show or whatever?" And of course, I'm like, "No," but I've heard good things. Okay, this should be interesting. So all these fuckers are going to be in the cage, even though Mike has barbed wire. That's an excellent touch. This ought to be pretty good. In a shark cage. Here we go. Entertainers. Of sports. Entertainers. That's my favorite part. There's Hager. Yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on with Natalya and that house show, whatever the hell she did with Liv Morgan. I haven't looked into that story at all, so I don't want to comment on it. I have no idea what the story there is or why that happened. I don't really care what the rumors are. I just care about what it is. God, they're all getting in there. Oh, there's Ruby. Check her out. Why is Ruby out there? Oh, yeah, because she got her arm hurt. She's with Kingston. It's the keeper of the key. There they go. Yeah, see, I'd be having problems. I'd be having some major claustrophobic issues, which I've recently discovered I apparently am deathly claustrophobic. It's a recent thing that I think has happened. I don't recall being this bad when I was a kid, but I've had several instances over the past few years, and I had a couple happen to me in Hawaii where I almost panicked because I was in the back of a hot van. We had this big van, like 7-person van, and I was in the very back of it in the corner, and we got in there, and my dad was driving, my stepdad was driving, and he was taking forever to start the car, and it was getting really hot in there, and I was like, I got to get out. And I started like thinking I had to get out. And then I kind of checked myself. I'm like, no, you're fine. Just chill. I'm like, just get that AC on stat, please. And I started like really kind of freaking out. It was weird. So I'm like, yeah, if I was at least the shark cage you can see out of, but I'd still have that feeling of confinement or whatever. So it's like, I don't know why it took me until my 40s to discover that that's an issue that I have, but I am really claustrophobic. A couple years ago when I was camping, we had a big cabin with a bunch of friends, and I slept in a top bunk of bunk beds. And I thought nothing of it. I'd hopped right up there to go to sleep, but the ceiling was so close to my head, I didn't like it. I was like, I don't like this. I can't sit up. And it took me a while to kind of wrap my head around it. And then I was like, okay, you're fine. Don't be a pussy. Just chill. And I got myself together, and I slept, but I did not like it. I'm like, oh, there's a fucking ceiling over my head, and just gave me a whacked out feeling. So check out the Painmaker here. Full on Painmaker garb. All his boys suspended in a cage. Shit in their pants probably. At least they don't appear to be too high up. I could at least live with that. See, they're not as high up as they normally are for shark cages. That's a little bit better, I guess. Here comes Eddie. No. I have not seen whatever the hell Natty and her sister are into. The only thing I know about them is what I just recently saw this week with JR. Horny JR, who I love, by the way. Shout out to Horny JR, who made some sort of comment about the two of them in some scantily clad outfits. So, Shark Week. So we got a barbed wire. Oh, right off the bat, we're going right for... He's not bleeding like a stuck pig yet, JR. He's just barely bleeding. Just because you're bleeding doesn't mean you're a stuck pig. It just means you're bleeding. Big Eddie chance. So wait, Ruby is the keeper of the key. What the hell is that thing in her lap? It's huge. Oh, here comes some barbed wire. Oh, God. Eddie is going to bleed so much. I'm already uncomfortable. Trying to think what kind. Yeah, I don't know what kind of finish they're going to do because the entire faction is suspended in a cage. So if you wanted to add a member of the Jericho Appreciation Society, tonight could be a good night to do it. Maybe Paper Bag Man or Box Man could get involved, but would Kip Sabian, being the newest member of the Jericho Appreciation Society, be a suitable climax to your main event of Fyter Fest? Oh, I think it would have to be someone like more noteworthy. Like Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano would be fun in the JAS. Oh, wow. Yeah, Ty Conti could attack Ruby. If I was in the Jericho Appreciation Society, I would be so annoying with the production crew. I'd be like, "Are you sure it's gonna hold us? Are you sure it's gonna hold us?" And like they'd be like, "Dude, Greg, chill. Yes, God." But I would be just like, "I'm not getting up there unless you're like, you guarantee me I'm not gonna die." And they're like, "You're gonna be fine, Greg." I don't believe you. Yeah, Gargano with Regal would be fun. Because there's an NXT tie in there, you know. That Rock is All Elite graphic has to be up somewhere on Twitter by this point, right? We hadn't been sitting here all this time without the wrestling universe seeing The Rock advertised on Shark Week and them not making that graphic, right? Somebody's done it. Go find it. Hey, buddy. Bub just came over to say hello. Bub, there's currently 9 minutes left in this stream. Are you cool with that? And then I'm all yours, my man. I will feed you food. I will give you pets. Maybe some treats. Nice, Ajax Johnson. Just clocked out from work and you're here for the main event. I like to hear that. Congrats on being out from work. Cheers. It's always good to get off work, isn't it?
You take a sip of the slush, boom, that's out.
I've been working in restaurants for 30 years, and I've never worked where I've known what time I'm getting off. You never know what time you're getting off because it just depends on how busy you are, what day of the week it is, you know, how late people stay, how long it takes you to lock up or, you know, to get all the customers out. Like every night varies. Some night can be an hour earlier than others. Sometimes you can be 2-3 hours later than normal. It just depends. It's a crapshoot, but I'm so used to it. I don't know any other way, but I never really go into work knowing exactly how many hours I'm going to work. Jericho from this split screen looks fucking gray. I just think it's the... I guess it is gray hair. This looks gray. How dare Jericho get old? Was that a snake? Bullet Train. That looks like a wacky-ass movie. I love that Flo is still at it. I think the last year that I remember physically dressing up for Halloween was probably like 2008 or something. Big party we had, bunch of us, probably 50-ish people, all dressed up in crazy shit. I went as a baby. I had a onesie and a bonnet and a bottle full of vodka. And then we all went downtown and like hitting the bars and stuff. And I remember seeing the most popular Halloween costume I saw among the women was Flo from Progressive. There were Flos everywhere. So she's at least been around that long doing those commercials. Kingston, look at his back. Can you imagine trying to sleep with that shit, taking a fucking shower? Ugh. I never thought about this until Matt Cardona posted a pic after he had some GCW match, I think the one with Nick Gage. And I think it was Chelsea Green had posted a picture of the bed sheets in the hotel that were just covered in blood from Matt Cardona laying in bed, sleeping with his open wounds. And I wonder if, you know, how many times, you know, hotels have had to go through that just with wrestling in general when we have these crazy-ass matches. I mean, that's fucking nasty to fucking leave a bunch of blood. I hope they throw those out. I don't want to sleep on sheets knowing that they could have possibly been drenched in blood before. Oh, suplex through the barbed wire table. You were in Honolulu last year for Halloween. That's awesome. A Honolulu Halloween. Halloween-olulu. Something like that. Graphic. Here come. Oh my God! Look at Ty Conti running. Oh, going right after Ruby. Here we go. She's going hard at her. Oop. Double leg. Hammering her. Getting the better of Ruby. Yeah, Ruby's got the busted arm, so I guess. Yo, you got to lay those shots in a little harder than that. Oh, here's Anna Jay. Oh, yeah. They used to be bros, Conti and Anna Jay. Oh, there we go. They're still bros. Anna turning on Ruby. I mean, I was about to say, what are these two going to argue about? Who's hotter? But I like that they had everybody going. Ooh. Man, we should get Jungle Boy going heel, too, and he can join up with Anna Jay. And then, that's a whole thing. There we go. Oh, no. She's bringing the lift down, and she's got the key. They're going to hijack the fucking shark cage. Jericho's a genius. Anna Jay was the difference maker in this, huh? Oh, God. Whenever wrestlers have to unlock something with a key, it never goes well. Come on, girl. Is it going to work? Oh, shit. She's going to fuck it up. She's going to fuck it up. They can. Why do wrestling promotions always do this, guys? WWE had the issue at the Royal Rumble with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. Oh, there they go. They're just going through the bars. Phew. Okay. Well, at least they had that ability. Why didn't they do that all along? Conti couldn't unlock the door. Well, thank God those fucking bars were wide enough for them to get through. That's quite the botch. Fans don't seem to be into this. We'll see what happens here in the finish. As soon as she had a real key, I'm like, they're fucked. Real keys don't work. Doesn't matter what promotion you're in. For the AEW botch accounts, they're probably going to get a rock hard fucking willy over this. But same thing happened to WWE at the Rumble when they couldn't get the shit unlocked on Roman Reigns. Same thing. Jim Neidhart had a hell of a time locking the door at SummerSlam 94. There we go. Exploder through the table after Ortiz and company come to help out. And Jericho kicks out with about 2 minutes left in the show. Yeah, them just squeezing through the cage, I got to admit, was fucking hilarious. Because then you also got to think when you're fumbling with the key and it's not working, then you got to be getting nervous. You know you're on a time constraint here and cameras are on you. Millions of people are watching. I'd be shaking like a motherfucker. And then, wasn't it Jake Hager, Jack Swagger couldn't get the Money in the Bank fucking briefcase off the thing, remember? Oh, Kingston kicks out. Jericho might have gotten legitimately hit in the nose. I don't know what he was favoring there. Ooh. He's trying to block. These are weak-ass chair shots. Oh, God. He's going to put it on his face now. Oh, lion salt. Oh! He threw the chair at him, blocked the lion salt, sort of. We're going to be coming up on the finish here. We got a minute left. And there he is. Back fist for the win. Or is Jericho going to kick out? Yep. I saw Jericho's eyes checking out Aubrey. Yeah, he was selling the hand like, ow, fuck. Oh, he's got another piece of barbed wire. He's just going to choke him out now. Oh, God. Right across his face. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, he's going to lock him in the submission. He's going to tap. He's going to have to tap. Time's up. No? Unless we get an overrun. Overrun is possible. Who's this? Sammy. Boom. Oh, yeah. I forgot Kingston was the one that threw Sammy off of Blood and Guts. That was the last time we were doing a live stream together. Or a live reaction together. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Is Jericho going to Judas affect him? Nope. Boom. Oh, reverse and reverse. That'll be it. 2, 3. And Jericho wins. Well, that was a weird match. Kind of a funny deal there with the shark cage when Conti couldn't get it unlocked and they just squeezed through the bars. It wasn't even that high up. They could have squeezed through it way before and just jumped down, couldn't they? I was at Unforgiven 98. I was in the building for that. Chyna was way up higher than that. She got out. He's going to take him out again. Oh. Kingston fighting back. I don't know what they're trying to do there. Well, it is a minute past the hour, according to my TV. Are we going to end with a big spot? Ugh. Oh, they hadn't used that thing yet? All right. So it's just going to end like that with Jericho taking the bump on there. All right. Whew. All right, guys. That's it. Fyter Fest in the books. I appreciate y'all being here on Wednesday with me. It was good to get back in the Dynamite live reaction saddle since we missed a few weeks, so that was a lot of fun. I have got a busy week at work this week. Crazy fucking busy at work. So my plan as of right now is to be up here as always on Saturday for the podcast, but as of right now there will be no classic pay-per-view watch along on Sunday. Just too much going on, probably for the next week too, and then things will start getting a little bit easier once we get into August and September. So if anything changes, we'll come up and do a watch along on Sunday, but as of right now, we're not going to be there. So the next time you will see me is on Saturday for the podcast. Unless something crazy happens, I'll pop up here with a video on that, and I should be talking to you soon. Thanks for watching Dynamite with me. I appreciate it. You guys have a good rest of your Wednesday night, and I will talk to you on Saturday. Y'all be good. Peace.